Hello everyone and welcome back to another FTB Infinity Expert Mode video, Skyblock edition of course, and we're still in beta version 4 here and cruising. It's super late at night. I'm getting a late start. It was kind of rough. I did want to record my single player, but I just don't have enough time at this point in time to get what I need to get done over there done. So we're going to do another Skyblock one. I'm going to work my butt off as much as possible tomorrow to get the single player episode out. The problem that we have with single player episode right now, well, it takes a long time to do anything. Trust me on that one. For the most part, though, things are going pretty well here. As you can see, we have a large open area just kind of dedicated and ready to go for, you know, anything and everything, which is pretty darn sweet overall. I do have some plans for this area. We definitely need to change up the flooring and all that kind of stuff. All this straight oak planks and whatnot just aren't gonna fly for the entire base at all. Plus, I don't know if you guys, it happens to me even when I'm not streaming, you see weird things in the floor. Does anybody else notice that? You move the mouse over, it's like an optical illusion. Anyways, I think that happens with pretty much all wood planks. Alright. Oh, we got back to Majestic. Really? That's a shame. This guy was Imperial. I was going for a chance at it, but we lost it. Okay. These guys are all Imperial, though, so that's pretty darn sweet. Let's see if we can get a mutation there and get it back to the Imperial. But we do have our first bit of Royal Jelly. Now, Royal Jelly is quite useful, and you can use it for lots of cool things. The most important thing is starting into the aviaries. Is that what it's called? Alveary. Alveary, that's what it's called, I think. From forestry. And that guy is basically going to give you the ability to make even cooler things for all of your stuff. So for example, the alveary itself, boom, requires that scented paneling. And that requires the royal jelly, for example. It's pretty good overall. That's one of the things that we need to definitely farm first. So that's this guy here with pollen clusters, beeswax, etc. So overall, not too bad. And industrious is what we're going to need for the pollen cluster. So we have about one of the two so far. How sweet does that look with the moon right there? Oh, baby. But yeah, so anyways, we got a lot done there last episode, and during the stream as well, we did a few different things. We got all of this. We're good to go there. I still haven't hooked up water yet. I really need to do that. But that's a different story. Lots of people were communicating to me, well, Kryllyk, you silly fool. You can just literally put a hopper above the conveyor belt. Alright, let's give it a try. I didn't really try it. I kind of thought the dropper looked cool, personally, like shooting out at the stuff, but, you know, okay, let's try this guy, just like so, and we'll give it a try. We probably need to close up the backside here then. Maybe like that or something along those lines. Let's grab a little bit of tin, because you can always use some tin gears in this pack, if I've learned anything from my previous experience. So if we put those in there, and it still requires a redstone signal though, doesn't it? Well, that doesn't help at all. I wanted to get rid of the ticking noise. What? Is that too high up? Am I too high up? I might be too high up. Hold on. Hold on. There we go. I thought I put that in right. Oh well. Yeah, so that works, obviously. And then that way we don't need the sound muffler and all that kind of stuff. The sound mufflers, by the way, don't get rid of this noise. Look. Don't get rid of it. So kind of the sound muffler to not do anything there. Really do appreciate that. Alright, so anyways, that's basically all I needed to update you guys on. Short little update at the start of this one. But pretty important overall to make sure that we all are on the same level going forward. So the next step here that we need to get is the items that we need for the vat. That's what we were working on because we want to work towards getting some MFR machines. I'd like to get some MFR tree farms and all that kind of stuff up and running. So I think for right now we'll get the basic capacitors. So the vat requires the machine chassis like so, which requires the basic capacitors, iron bars, basic machine frames. So let's make those guys first. Did I make the machine frames? I cannot remember if I did. Oh, we're almost there. What am I missing? Oh yes, the refined iron is probably in here, just needs to be compressed. Okay, good. So we can get that guy going. Do I have a spot for that? I don't think I do. Let's put those right here, just like so. We're going to need some iron bars. 8 of them to be exact, if I'm not mistaken. So, do you guys see like that line on the oak there when I'm moving like this? Like, that's not an FPS issue or anything like that. It happens normally. I don't get it. I do not understand. Anyways, and we need a little bit of aluminum. 1, 2, 3, 4 aluminum. Okay, good. Piece of cake. Now all we need is our actual machine frames in there. Let's get those done over here, like so, and get those guys started crafting on the laser schematic. Alright, so now the vat. I think I have pretty much everything else ready to go. This guy here is the final recipe. And, oh yes, the fluid tanks, which are right here. These guys are basically a portable tank by Ender.io that store fluid, not unlike the portable tank from thermal expansion and all that kind of stuff. But that'll give us our 4 fluid tanks. In case you guys didn't notice, we are doubling this recipe. I do want 2 vats at least. We may make a 3rd at some point in time, but not quite yet. Oh boy, our apples are starting to get a little full. We need to figure out what to do with those guys. I can juice them for sure. I guess that would work and make some biomass of some type. I don't know. It's a possibility. I don't know if we're going to do it anytime soon. There's our chassis. We'll throw those in the middle, and let's get our 2 vats. Okay. These guys are a little bit more, in my opinion, annoying to deal with. Just because they do require, you know, fluids and all that kind of stuff as well. Now, what I'm thinking we should do we have any more open blocks tanks? I don't think we do we? But I believe we have a portable tank somewhere. Let's find it. Portable tank. Ooh, I don't know which type it is. I think it's... Is it that guy? Yeah, right in there. Of course, the one that I was just about to check next. Alright, so we do have a hardened portable tank. That's good. And in the meantime, we can also set up our setup for the water for our carpenter. So we need the world interaction upgrade along with a liquid transfer node. We're going to need some blocks. I'm thinking let's go skystone. Let's get some skystone made. For those of you that haven't seen this yet, you're in for a treat. Alright, so that'll give us the skystone. What else do we need? I think that's about it, actually. We need the water. So we need to get 2 buckets of water, okay? I'm surprised nobody mentioned the fact that I didn't have any buckets of any water left. Luckily, I had the sink up there. Alright, let's go downstairs. We're going to do this guy in the basement. We have loads of room down here, and we need the skystone anyways. So I'm just going to sit here and get some skystone out of our lava and all that kind of stuff. Now, and then we can go from there, because once I have the skystone ready to go, I think we should be able to make a nice little setup for it. Alright, so let's start setting up just another little pool, just like we kind of had before. Let's double check our F7. We're good to go. That's good. And we'll just start setting up the infinite water pool. Ooh, no, you know what? Let's do it this way. Yeah. I almost put down the skystone bricks. These guys take forever to break, by the way. You do not want to have to break these. They're basically the same as breaking obsidian. They take forever, as you can see. So probably try to avoid that. Alright, we also need a few pipes. I completely forgot to transfer pipes. But that's fine. We'll get these, and that should then start to connect some of this stuff up. So we can run this straight on over. Just like that. And straight up. Yeah. Okay, perfect. So now the carpenter should get water again, which is good. And we can now tie into that for our vats as well. The other thing that we're going to need is we're definitely going to need to pull in some power. This is our main power line for the entire setup. So I think we should be good to tie in there. Let's see. Do I have many hardened flux ducts? Not really. I think I need to make a few more of those. A little bit of iron. You know what? Let's go a little crazy. Let's make, you know, 3 times 6, 18 of them or something like that. What else do they require again? I have some with me so we can double check. Hardened glass, 2 redstone chipsets. Alright, some hardened glass, so 3. That'll be 6 redstone chipsets. Good. And the rest was just redstone, I think. So 4 times 3, quick and easy, 12 redstone. Alright, so once these plates are done, we can make the hardened flux ducts, and then we can start setting up these vats properly. Alright, a few hardened flux ducts later, and we're off. Hover, hover. Alright, so we should be able to tie in just right here. We can disconnect that quite easily. And we can run this guy down. And this should line up perfectly. Oh, it does. Beautiful. Perfectly line up with the need for our vats. Okay. So the one vat that we're going to have. So the portable tank's going to go in the middle. The one vat on one side and the other vat on the other side. Now these guys should automatically be getting power. They hold a decent amount, which is good. But you can't upgrade these machines, unlike the other Ender IO ones. As you can see, there's no slot for an upgrade for these guys. The other thing that's cool is you can set the inputs and outputs accordingly for these machines. So, a simple right click, we're going to pull from the tank. Whereas this guy is going to push into the tank. Alright? And it's going to pull from this side. Oh, one too far. There we go. It's going to pull from that side. So we need to bring the water over like this. Boop, boop, and down and in. So now we should be getting water as soon as it finds everything. Okay. Come on. Hurry up. Find it. There we go. So we have water in the tank. Good. That is the first step. So the next step to making rocket fuel, let's just bring it up here. You need a vat with gunpowder and redstone and hooch to make rocket fuel. Now hooch is something that you need to make as well in a vat, and that is basically sugar with almost any type of farm thing. Oh, did I see apples? Ooh, maybe we should use apples. Poisonous potatoes are the best thing you can use, but apples are actually pretty good in this vat. Well, I see apples on the forefront. Alright, let's see. Can we also pull from the front there? And we'll probably also pull from the front here. And this guy is also going to export to this side. So we're going to need another tank just for the rocket fuel. But let's go get a little bit of apple and a couple other things. What I'm thinking is the pulling from the front, let's get a couple of chests. And not just any chests. Let's get some fun chests. Let's have some fun with some chests. I don't have any wood on me, do I? No, I do not. 3, 8. Alright. Let's get a fun chest. We don't need too much of this stuff, but let's get the mini chest from extra utilities. Now, this guy is pretty... Actually, no. The mini chest isn't going to work. It's not going to work at all. Can we turn this back into a real chest? Thank God we can. Alright. We're going to need 2 chests. Ah, that was too bad. I was hoping it would, but it won't. I would need 2 inputs for that. Alright. That'll be fine. So we'll grab that. Let's get a stack of redstone, a stack of gunpowder. And while we're up here, let's make another tank. Probably just another portable tank. They're so easy to make. And the hardened ones, really simple. 4 invar, 1 copper. 4 invar, 1 copper. Basically need some glass. Oh god, I'm actually short on glass. Well, looks like I need to smelt up a little Sandarino. Alright, pretty straightforward. Induction smelter for the win. It is quite quick at this stage still, so I do enjoy the speed that it goes without any upgrades and all that kind of stuff. Alright, good. We got glass, we got the tank. So this is going to basically be our rocket fuel tank. I totally did not hit that edge. I call lies. Alright, so we have water in here. We need to get the apples. I forgot them. Let's take a couple anyways. Yeah. 1, 2, 3, 4. Sure. We're also going to need sugar, though. Now, I do have some sugar here from the mob farm. I guess we'll just start with that. Other than that, I just need to go farm some sugarcane. I should actually make an elevator to get down to the basement as well, instead of just always jumping off the edge. So we'll do sugar and apples, and we'll just kind of combine that. Now, all I'm going to do is I'm going to put the rest of the apples in here. And you can see that it already pulled one out. So we're already at 63 there because it used one up in the first process. Now, it does take a bit of time. There's a progress bar and all that kind of stuff. So you're really better off getting this thing running, you know, pretty consistently here. And there we go. We have our first bit of hooch. And it ended up going in that tank. And then it was automatically pulled in to here. So for every 1 sugar and 1 apple, we are getting 875 millibuckets of hooch. Alright? Not too shabby. And then this chest here is where I'm going to put the redstone and glowstone. I need a lot more sugar though first. So let's head on over here. Might as well eat some apple juice while we're doing so. And, aha. We do have a decent amount. That's good. And I believe pulverizing this is the way to go, if I recall correctly. That's a recipe. Didn't even know that that was a recipe. Yeah, I'm pretty sure it's pulverizing. Pressing. Yeah, it's pulverizing. You get 2 for every 1. So this should actually give us 2 stacks of sugar, which is nice and efficient. I highly recommend doing it as long as you can. So it's one of those things. So we're going to get a little bit of sugar. I guess we can put some of this stuff away. We don't need all this stuff on us here. I'm going to keep the skystone though, because we're going to keep developing the basement as we go and doing all that kind of stuff. So the vats are pretty much set up for the most part. Let's just grab that amount. And I also want to put in the sugar just in the front here. And you'll see that it should suck pretty much all of it up and gets it to the stack. Good. Over here you should see we're getting a decent amount of hooch. And now we can start putting in the gunpowder and the redstone. You can shift click them and all that kind of stuff. You're good to go. Now the thing that we can also do there is I have quite a bit of it. 1, 2, 3. 1, 2, 3. Very good. We'll just grab a few of each and just kind of backlog it. That way, you know, we're continually kind of building and all that kind of stuff. And it'll pull as it needs it, and away we'll go. There we go. Rocket fuel. We have 1 bucket of rocket fuel. Nice. But this is overall our system right now. Nothing too crazy or anything like that. It's pretty straightforward. Vats are not overly difficult, but there's a few things that you can do with them. The other item that I would like to make at some point is fire water from Ender.io. And that is done in a vat with hooch again, so a decent amount of hooch, blaze powder and redstone instead of the gunpowder for the rocket fuel. So that's a thing. Let's get 2 buckets of rocket fuel. Very good. Now we can make our first little bit of plastic. All right. We are moving up in the world, friends. It is very, very nice. So we need some raw plastic and some compressed sawdust. Compressed sawdust is all that sawdust that I've been collecting from my sawmill. I believe you can also do... You can pulverize as well with it. All right. But I've been keeping it just because I know I've needed it, but we do need some raw plastic. So we can smelt the rubber, the industrial craft rubber, into the raw plastic. So let's go that route, because we do have a decent amount of rubber since I chopped down all those trees. Actually, I have even more in there. So let's get these guys in place and get at least some of this stuff cooking up into raw plastic. All right, good. Now that should set us for quite a bit. That's a decent amount of raw plastic for our needs. We don't need very much. Most of the machines only take about 2 plastic sheets each. So we're good to go there. We can restore that again, and the compressed sawdust. Let's go 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. All right. Compressed sawdust, get. We'll get a stack of it because I'm sure we'll use it at some point. There we go. And the raw plastic. That gives us plastic sheets. Boom. Now, of course, it uses up the rocket fuel. So you got to keep that in production. Got to keep that on the know. But we have the ability now to manually, at least for now, get all of the plastic sheets that we pretty much desire. We'll store that in there for now. I'll have to remember that it's in there. These chests are a bit of a nightmare. We need to figure something else out. I don't want to add more to the drawers, though. It's just one of those things, like, I don't know. I kind of want to jump into A2, but we're still a ways off from that. So, all right. So, MineFactory Reloaded adds a whole bunch of cool blocks that you can use for many, many different things. Mainly the planter, the fisher, the harvester. So the planter and the harvester work great together for tree farms and for crop farms and all that kind of stuff. The rancher's good. I believe that's what gets you milk and stuff like that. Fertilizer, if you want to fertilize your crops. There's a veterinarian station that injects things with needles. There's a lot of great items in MineFactory Reloaded, and one of them is also the sludge boiler. We're going to need to get some of that going because that is amazing. The output that you get from sludge is really, really useful on MineFactory, on any Skyblock that you're doing. So for one, you get peat. You can use peat in engines. Just saying. Ash you can use to make fertilizer or compost or bituminous peat, which I wouldn't recommend that. You get decaying wheat, which really isn't that useful. You can make like mycelium and a couple of these things. It's really not useful overall. This one's probably one of the worst used ones. You do get sand. You get clay. You get coarse dirt. A lot of coarse dirt, though. You get regular dirt, gravel, red sand, soul sand. That's a big one right there. You get mycelium automatically. You get podzol, and you get netherrack as well. So all of these things are quite useful. Netherrack, soul sand, dirt, all of those items that are so useful in Skyblock when it comes to sieving and all that kind of stuff. So really looking forward to getting a sludge boiler up and running. But to get that up and running, we need to start producing sludge. Now, sludge is a byproduct of the harvester. So what I'm thinking we're going to do, we're using a lot of dark oak out here. We're using a lot of acacia wood. We're using a lot of different wood types. We need to set up a better tree farm for all of those different wood types. I'm thinking acacia and dark oak. We have regular oak over there, and that's working fine. The forestry farm's fine. I don't really need to touch it. But we do need the other ones in operation. The other thing that's really awesome is the auto spawner from MineFactory Reloaded. That one is very good. And the grinder, which, yeah, there's so many great blocks. You guys know most of them. I'm just kind of, you know, spawning on here. The lava fabricator is another fantastic block to generate lava if you don't want to go the crucible route. It does take a decent amount of power, though. That's all that I'll say. Alright, so we're pretty much at wrapping up point here, but I just wanted to make a couple of harvesters here. Now, I was mentioning tree farms and all that kind of stuff. I'm not positive or sold on those quite yet, but this is going to be quite the procedure anyways. I would really like to get some of these farms started up on some harvesting. Now, we are just going to have to run power, as far as I know for now. I may use immersive engineering wires instead of doing hardened flux ducts the entire way over, just because of cost. So I may just jump over all of the MV wires all the way over to the farm area for now, at least until we start to get a tesseract. If I can get a tesseract that I can tie in nicely, I don't like that I can even see the redstone ore over there, but if I can get a tesseract over here, that would be pretty darn swell. I think for the most part, though, like tomatoes here are not something that I'm going to be auto harvesting. And of course, I just placed that the wrong way. But sugarcane, for example, is. Now, what I'm thinking is we'll probably pull right from the underside here and take out all of those things. Soybeans, I do have up to 1010, but I think for right now, I do need pumpkins more than I need soybeans. Now, I guess let's come up with some sort of a system here. So if I'm harvesting that on that side, that means we should always harvest from that direction, right? Yeah, I guess that would be okay, right? So this would go over here then. It kind of impacts the walkway, though. Yeah, I'm not feeling that. I'm not feeling that. So let's say we always harvest from this side for now. We can place these guys back. No big deal there. And so this would then go over here like that. Okay, that works just fine. And we're going to be selective, like I just finished saying, on what and where we harvest. So for example, rye and sweet potato, I have the seeds planted just because I want to have all of the plants planted at some point in time. And barley, but these three will probably never be harvested automatically. Carrots, potentially, probably not. You don't use them all that often, and I do have them already set up to a 10-10 type setting, so not really necessary there. Melons, maybe. Potatoes, maybe. Wheat, probably. We'll need seeds and stuff like that, but like tomatoes and beans, no. Oh, redstone seeds? Yeah, definitely. Infinite redstone, basically. And we should really look into some of the other agricraft crops too. Now that we can make them all, there is some nice stuff in there that we could really enhance our storage on. Not that we're truly lacking in the slightest over here. Actually, let's just double check something here. I think we're good still on all of our stuff. Yeah, so far so good. Alright guys, that is going to be it for this episode though. I'm sorry if you feel we didn't get that much done. I feel like it was still quite productive. I did quite a few things off camera, like removing the trees and stuff though before the episode started, so I've been playing for a very long time, but maybe it doesn't come out in the video because we worked on some vats and did a couple other things. Anyways, we do have 32 buckets at least of rocket fuel. It's full, And we do have a full vat, and we're starting to backlog up on our hooch over here. I've supplied more sugar and apples into here so that this guy keeps on running for quite a bit longer. And we'll start backlogging the hooch, which is great. We need to, because we also need it for the fire water if I want to go that route as well. I'm thinking fire water into liquid-fueled liquid boiler boxes. That's what I'm thinking. But anyways, that's it for me. I think I'm gonna have to upgrade these caches, because that's the thing. Mind you, I'm not chunk loaded, so we should be good to go. Alright, I'm just gonna move over some of this sand, and I'll see you guys next episode. I'm just talking too much now. Bye bye for now. See ya.